have a word of prayer, and we'll pray. Father in heaven, we thank you in the name of Jesus for this opportunity that you have blessed us, and we ask that you may bless everyone, and also the funds which are collected, that they may be used for your glory and for the project which you gave us. Of the news and project, it was a land, I can say, with the so it's below the equator. In Zambia, they have just two seasons. They have this is getting so below the equator. It's vice versa, right? That's pretty clear. As you know, I was not on vacation to travel most of the. If anyone visits this part of Africa, I would encourage a migration here. There is lots of beautiful stuff. On is one of the missionaries that brought Christianity to Africa and specifically to Zambia. Zambia before used to be called Rhodesia. So it was the South and North Rhodesia. Victoria Falls, beautiful. It's pretty safe to they call. The first thing I noticed when they drive on the left, there is a risk of malaria if you go really interior, you know. Where I was close to Lusaka, there was not a risk. So, I noticed something here. You know, there is lots of, because traffic, it's as usually in some parts of the world, to you know, the wipes for the windshield, everything they sell in the street. So this is on the head, you know, and it's mostly done by women. It's very interesting. I saw this guy, he is walking with his wife, and she is carrying a bag on her head, and he is walking with his hands, right? So this is a tradition there in some parts of the world. As you can see here, this lady, she is selling. So they have a special tray and a little thing they put on the head. So, but very good balance. When you look at these bananas, avocado, mandarins, everything carrying off a good posture and good balance. I was impressed. In Lusaka, so these are not people from the church, okay? But I'd like you to notice something that might be unusual. Sorry? The dress? Clothing. The clothing, yes. Very good, very good. I didn't need too many guys. Church. Very few wearing pants. Very few. So you see, this 100, maybe 10-15% I saw in pants. Very rarely. Most of them young and like during the day, like, it's quite impressed. I never saw traveling in Africa, and I believe it's the culture as well. Well, can be in the, you can be pickup truck, but he's outside, so no problem. They travel. It's okay. Now the first one. Thank you. I couldn't put. So to get an idea, you know, how life goes, and yeah. So yeah, we can go back to the PowerPoint presentation. The school, the mission, but otherwise I would say very nicely done. English-speaking countries, yeah, Uganda, one of the classes, they don't have a video now. They were left to a 13 from the regional secretary at that time. So I think this was a smart idea. It was and produce and generate some income acres of land where the school is located. They have some fruit trees, they have some bananas, and this is actually, as you can see in the back, because it's Zambia, they never experience frost. The septic and the plumbing is outside exposed because there is no night. When I arrived, I woke up because you know, my time was messed up completely, and I woke up and I noticed spiders. I said, "Don't worry, this is not the dangerous one." To me, it sounded. I know children are more dangerous. They come in the west. Scorpions. They come to worry about. One day I woke up and. So, but these are not dangerous, it's just they live there. Here we have some cassava. You know, when you go to store here, sweet potatoes, you know, very good. So what they do, I'll show you, they just boil them. They don't bake, they boil. And very healthy in Europe, but nonetheless, they have lots of them. They had already tomatoes, and they will get The brother, the administrator, he said that he will try and actually try very good papayas. So they have few papaya trees. They call avocado trees. So we planted a number of trees. They are still, because you can see the property was just inaugurated almost 2 years ago. So they are still small, but they are working to get this running. So, Brother Johnny, if you can run that maybe short video for now, and the last one that doesn't have a number. So I'd like you to see, it's a little bit noisy from the wind and the sound is not the greatest, but I'd like you to see a little bit the property.
So this is the property here in, where is the school, and one bed of, some fruit trees.
Some of these, this is one installed and
here we have here.
right? Kitchen.
Meal, right? And Brother Mark from Nigeria.
So this one.
About the oven.
In the back, show a little bit to the garden. Into now, they have
Those
two
plastic
seasons. So here take water from this. It's a great ministry. Some more
ground.
So even as was told. So here now they have tomatoes, avocado trees.
Look.
This is the building. Plumbing is here.
Yeah.
More here to be planted. The water system to be separate from the building. So the electricity here is produced by solar panels.
In the future to build maybe a shop door washrooms. For now they are using the cafeteria where they have them. And here another few beds of sweet potato. They grow very popular here. And then here they have also, yes.
Barrel is 5 tons, and they will electricity any moment. So about 9:30, 10, the page in the teacher's room, they have no other free. Say a little bit more later. They want to buy. So when they get a separate one, a solar panel, the electricity that collects the converter, and the battery has. So now the building, they postpone the classes, to take notes or what project with the irrigation solar pump, right? So even this is the one, and then from right, no. So one of them and greet each other. So it's kind of like is lined up. This is after is our nuts. They call it ground. It's teaching management. Like that students from about 6. He's not a student, but he was assisting during classes as well. One from Zimbabwe. We had one from Namibia speaking country. Students came. Tuition means a lot. Either it's in place. So I went with the brethren, peanuts and some greens. Like repa and different kind of greens. Shima. Shima is cornmeal from white corn. They don't say corn, they say maize. So one of these bags, I said, and you like it, yeah. And then the other things, rice, shima, tomatoes, yeah. No cook. Students had turned with the ingredients they had. I didn't find the yellow corn stew. Under choki. Really enjoyed, very tasty. Not so one Sabbath, 300 members. Or 3, they rented their John. So I have to say, they are very musical. They have a talent, And in Zambia, brethren, they speak 73 languages, 7 of them more important. They speak Bemba, they speak Nanja, they speak Tonga. You can Google, right? So, empire, some parts of the city, it's a little bit different than the other, but as we are traveling, it takes longer, sometimes traffic, road work, and so forth. So this is the Sabbath we spent in Lusaka. They rented this building. On that Sabbath, we are about 215, between 250 and 300 people. And as I said, this is just Greater Lusaka, right? So we have many members there, and visitors came for the Sabbath here. This is the people you can imagine. We needed to divide in groups. I was in the English and so liking us, I in service as a story. Like you can see, but windows were smaller, so it was not hot. They didn't know, and this was any keyboard or piano or any an altar and. That was a group singing during the divine service. I mean, during the service. O'clock, we had another meeting, so they wanted me to speak again, and so it was quite okay. What is the other video? What does it say? No, not yet. What does it say on the last one? Okay, let's do that one as well. Yeah. So that brother, they had every morning the morning worship at 6 o'clock. So imagine, we woke up like it was just beautiful, and then he would, that's his son, and he had a very deep, strong voice, as you can see there. This is during the altar call. Because they have a union and three, the field leader, treasurer, secretary. So, like put a blanket, and they brought just their own food because there was not like lunch on Sabbath here. Yeah, this is a school property. So they had many classes and buildings, and this is by the first lady of the. I found that the Christianity is well respected. Lots of churches. We went just where we stayed in Katuba. We went for a walk, and we see a group of people, just outdoors in front of a house singing hymns. They were Pentecostals. You don't find marks where you can see the work of the British missionaries. Protestantism is quite yeah. So here inside we had. Our lunch, it was bread, bananas, and some juice, and maybe some peanut. And this is Brother Chomba. He is the treasurer of the union. So I had the opportunity. Actually, Brother Chomba, this is his local church, because they meet in this building every Sabbath, basically, in that school. Because they don't have this opportunity, like none of them drives there, his Brother Bo would come and, a little bit to our disappointment, because not too many. So, but we saw a couple animals. If you want to see more like safari, you have to go like few hours in the big parks, right? But it was not the guide, the female was pregnant, and she started kind of like chasing us a little bit. And one of the students starts running, says, you can't outrun a rhino. Something impressive to see these big ones. Anyway, brethren, so the last portion here, so we went to downtown, these pipes, and over all of these. It was about 300 that does this stuff. So the plumber will guide, because so now what is left to buy is the solar pump, and maybe they were left with about 2,000 saw chickens, roosters, around. They would like to fence the property. So that's what I wanted to say. The brethren, they send many greetings, and they really appreciate the help. Because even the books that were donated, and I can say that once this is done, and they will send more photos. Last week they couldn't do because they are still clearing the land from rocks and roots. While I was there, we couldn't do anything because we were in class. So now they will, before they graduate, they will have to install. And then for the future promotions that come in the school, they will benefit from this system. And as you can see, the trees are growing and the other stuff. And once we will get some report. So hopefully this will be done soon. And here I'd like to stop today. Thank you so much for your support to help